Hello and welcome to the first installment of my grammar review series, where I'll be reviewing formal grammars of rare languages and sharing any insights of interest I derive from them. In this video, we'll be reviewing Maslova's 2003 grammar of Kolyma Yukaghir, a Paleo-Siberian language and member of the Yukaghir family, spoken in the Siberian Far East. Also check out the companion video to this one, linked in the description, where I profile the Yukaghir language family in more general detail. There are only two languages in the Yukaghir family still spoken today, and both are endangered. This grammar focuses on the southern or Kolyma language as opposed to the northern or tundra Yukaghir language. The Yukaghir peoples are thought to be one of the Paleo-Siberian cultures, along with the Nivk, Yeniseians, and Chukotka-Kamchatkans, so relatively more closely related to the older inhabitants of Siberia during the last ice age, and therefore more closely related to the indigenous peoples of the Americas as well, perhaps, themselves being Paleo-Siberians who crossed the Bering Land Bridge towards the end of the ice age, as opposed to the Neo-Siberians, or so-called Altaic peoples, the Turks, Mongols, and Tungusics. The existence of Altaic as an actual language family is of course controversial. It's more likely better thought of as a linguistic or cultural zone. One popular theory is that Yukaghir may be related to the Uralic languages, like Finnish and Hungarian, and/or the Eskalut and Chukotka-Kamchatkan families, which possibly spread across northern Siberia as part of a circumpolar cultural zone associated with the Neolithic Imayakta culture, which, if nothing else, is very fun to say. Kolyma Yukaghir is a pretty standard North Asian or so-called Altaic type language. Its grammar is heavily agglutinating, mostly relying on long chains of suffixes, vowel harmony, and robust noun declensions, much like Turkic, Mongolic, Tungusic, and Uralic. The personal pronouns actually reminded me a bit of Uralic, with the singular and plural forms being fairly similar. For example, Finnish has minä and me for I and we respectively, where Kolyma has met and meet. Both of the living Yukaghir languages are pretty divergent from each other, probably by about 2,000 years, so more distant than the Romance languages are from each other, at least. Even fairly common words like numerals and common animal names are not obviously related, but their relationship can still be reconstructed. The extinct Taiga dialects spoken between them may have formed a sort of cline that would have made the relationships between them more obvious, perhaps. Also, at least some of the differences are due to the influence of the Tungusic Evan language on Tundra Yukaghir, from which it borrowed many loanwords. Continuing on now to some interesting notes from the Kolyma grammar. Nouns take suffixes marking number and possession, but the plural is ambiguous when they're used together, so the word achepki could mean his many deer, or their one deer, or their many deer, but not his one deer. Yukaghir also likes to chain several verb phrases together, called a serial verb construction. This seems to be a common regional feature of Eastern Siberian languages, as it's found in Nivk, for example. The native uvular sounds kha and ra are in the process of being replaced by velar sounds kha and ra, which are easier for bilingual Russian speakers to pronounce. This change has probably been in progress for a while, as early translations of Christian religious texts by Russian missionaries use the kha sound to write the Russian pronunciation of Christ, or Christos. The vowels in the suffixes change to harmonize with the vowels in the root word. Vowel harmony should be a pretty familiar feature to speakers of Turkish, Korean, and Hungarian. Nouns inflect for number, case, and possession. Many common adjectives also affix to nouns directly, so the noun phrase little old men can be expressed with just one word, pulut pedielek, in which pulut is the word for old man, pe is the plural marker, die is a diminutive suffix meaning little, and lek is a case marker. There are three classes of adjectives: marked, which conjugate as verbs; unmarked, which do not inflect, usually obviously derived from nouns; and affixed, usually common morphemes related to size, like big or small, which attach to the noun directly. As documented here, there is a special and very humorous usage of the dative case, denoting body parts being the target of physical violence, like describing body parts being dismembered by ogres in their mythology, for example. Literally here, he chopped the ogre to the head. Fans of the Altaic theory will be pleased to note that the attributive case ends in an N sound, just like Mongolian, Turkish, Finnish, and many others. Interestingly, adjectives borrowed from Russian are most often used as stative verbs, for example, chisto, to be clean. The diminutive form of nouns is used to denote tiny little things and also singular bits of things that are usually plural. When used with negative verbs, it implies not even a little bit. Some verb forms mark evidentiality, showing the evidence the speaker has that the event happened. A special inferential form is used for hearsay, when the truth value of the event is uncertain. This grammar also includes a sample text with an interlinear gloss at the end, a record of a traditional Kolyma oral myth. Real-world examples of the language's usage are always nice to have, of course, especially for endangered languages like this one. So that pretty much wraps up my notes from this grammar of Kolyma Yukaghir. I hope you found this information at least interesting, if not useful. If so, I would appreciate a like and subscribe for more rare language grammar reviews, and thank you for listening.